We have a question that we ask in every episode.
What is truly the worst thing that's ever happened in your life that ended up being creating the best outcome?
Worst thing that ever happened to me, I was kidnapped at gunpoint, taken, and it ruined my life for about 10 years. And it really consumed my life for a long time.
How long did they have you?
Overnight. I was gone overnight, but it's so weird to think about this now, man, because doing what we do, we get to rescue people. And I knew at one point how I described it was, I took my life and I put it in a bottle, and I handed it to somebody else, and they were dangling it in front of my face. I had no control. I couldn't talk. Couldn't do anything. I was their captor.
How old were you?
I was 23 years old.
Where at?
So, Los Angeles.
In LA? Mm-hmm. Was it a group or was it a specific?
Most likely a gang initiation. But it makes me kind of understand and relate to when all you want is your life back. And when you actually have that moment of freedom that people take for granted every day, it makes sense now why that happened to me. But it also made me the most successful person that I could be, because my fear was it was going to happen again. I built my life every waking moment and probably my sleep around being prepared for the next time, because it consumed my thoughts a million times. Just flashed through this, like I've been through PTSD, all that, right? And because of my preparedness and foreseeing anything coming, any issue, any problem, I was able to clear them out of the way before they actually came, any issues. And I made a career almost out of doing that and making sure that things just went smooth. And I was, I definitely struggled. For a while, I didn't even go outside in the dark, That didn't take long, but I had to face them in court when they caught two of them in the Superior Court in LA, and I went through this whole long process and all this stuff, and full undercover disguise with a huge beard and dreadlocks and all that. I went through counseling, all this stuff, right? Anyway, so there was this thing I was at, and this guy was like, hey, you need to talk to my buddy. He's a hostage counselor. Like, when people are taken hostage, he works with these people. I was like, all right. And this is like 10 years in the making. I mean, I had strategically sat in places. I was strategically trained. Everything that I did, everything out my awareness was scary awareness, like it was bad. So we were sitting there talking, and he says, I tell him a story, I'd go through all this stuff, and he says, that's crazy, dude. I was like, yeah, I know. He's like, what are the chances that happens to somebody,
Great question.
And
Great question.
I was like, I don't know, man, like 1 in a million. He's like, you're telling me that 1 in every million people that happens to, that story. I was like, okay, maybe it's more, like 1 in 10 million. He's like, okay, we'll go with 1 in 10 million. He's like, what do you think the chances are that happens to somebody twice? That's what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
I'd been preparing for the second time, and the chances of me probably getting struck by lightning were way better than to have that exact same situation go down. But it led me to become a certain individual and a certain way of living, to be, good at what I did for some reason.
Successful.
Yeah. And now, come full circle, I know what it's like to have my life kind of taken away from me, for a very short glitch of time, nothing compared to what these people go through. Not even close, like a blink of an eye. But
you got an understanding. You got a taste. You got an understanding of what they're experiencing, and it adds to the compassion that you have for those, and the drive to continue, because you don't ever want to experience it again. You don't want them to experience it again. I can't even imagine what it feels like. I don't ever want to. I want to just maintain the freedom I have, but also don't want to take it for granted that can be taken from us. I just appreciate being willing to share that, because I never knew that. I thought that what question we asked was already answered earlier, and for you to answer that was something so deep and so that means it means a lot to me, because what we've shared as a friendship, and I've known you not even a year. You're willing to say that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for bringing us here. Thank you for introducing yourself, trusting us enough to be part of your life, and then to share something so deep. So what's next for you?
What's next? I'm gonna take down a moose.
That's why we're here. We're here to focus
Love
on
it.
that. Speaking of moose, man, we got some cooked here we got to get to town on because it's going to get cold.
Let's do it.
All right,
Thanks
all right.
again, brother.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.